On this episode of Talk is Cheap, we've got a great topic. 62 kids seen a UFO and an alien. Timmy Num Nums 2 coming through with a great suggestion. He's my new man crush tonight on Talk is Cheap. Earth and beyond to another great episode of Talk is Cheap. My name is Pete Halbleib, coming to you from a brief lost time incident, and to my immediate right is
Dan Hohlfeld. Brief lost time. Are we in time traveling here?
Yeah, I wake up every now and then. A few weeks have passed. It's just how it happens.
Oh shit! Or was that from having beer the night before?
No comment. We are in Wisconsin, home base Wisconsin, so anything goes. And all the way on the end, the handsomest devil on the panel.
Thank you, Dusty Long. That's me.
How's it going, D?
Pretty good. Feeling great today, as always.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good. I got some fun stuff for us to talk about tonight, fellas.
I'm excited.
Fun
really
stuff.
Yeah, another recommendation from a viewer.
I love it.
I don't remember who it was, but it was great.
We got to give him credit.
Yeah, we do have to give him.
I could tell
him
he was
or
like,
her. Yeah,
he's like, shit.
Oh shit! And in my defense,
What is the topic?
How many?
it's the Zimbabwe school UFO.
Oh, Timmy
yeah.
Num Nums.
Are you kidding? Timmy Num Nums again?
Oh, Timmy.
He is.
This time he must have made another one. So Timmy Num Nums 2.
Too. He probably got banned off of somewhere from Timmy Num Nums 1. Google probably banned him. Well, Timmy, man, I tell you what, you have got some great comments, great suggestions. I didn't even realize it. I think I'm your number one fan, bud. So keep up the good work. So I hope I do this justice. Okay, we all enjoy UFO alien stuff and sightings.
Well, hell yeah.
But, the skeptics are quick to say, well, it's a phenomena. It's a phenomenon that self-perpetuates. Somebody hears something about a description, and then they come out and then, oh, I saw that too, and this is what it looked like, so on and so forth. Well, what's interesting about what we're going to talk about, which is the Zimbabwe UFO sighting at the Aerial School in Rua, 62 students, ages between the ages of 5 and 12, saw a UFO land and an alien get out of it. Okay, what's kind of unique?
Holy shit!
Yeah, right.
They just didn't want to do homework that night.
Yeah, right. What's unique about it is that there's so many people that witness this, and that age group isn't typically one that can coordinate well amongst themselves about making up stories. They're not in it for financial gain, which we see a lot of folks. When they see Bigfoot or see aliens or get abducted, they want to do the talk show circuit and stuff. So this one right away really piqued my interest because, wow, 62 people. The more people that claim to see something, whether or not they have proof of it, that anecdotal evidence starts to really get a backbone when you have these multiple witnesses and they're describing, the same situation. Between any eyewitness accounts vary, right? So we have to understand that. But this is great. The Aerial School, again, Rua, Zimbabwe. It's a private elementary school with students of mixed ethnic heritage. Okay, so it's not one group of people, so it's not like you have a culture that has passed down stuff, through generation that would fit this. The kicker here: no adults present.
Oh.
Apparently the teachers, the kids were out on a recess or whatever, and apparently the teachers were in on some sort of meeting. So they were unsupervised, ages 5 through 12. Well, you think about this day and age, unsupervised kids like that would probably land somebody a call from social services or something.
You're right.
This was 1994 in Africa. So
you can get away with it.
Yeah, probably. All right. So basically, in a nutshell, these students were outside playing at their school, and they saw what appeared to be multiple ships almost teleporting across the sky, and they came closer and closer and landed in the forest. I shouldn't say the forest, but in some trees near the school. The students observed an alien-like creature then getting out of this UFO and walking toward them. Apparently, when the creature noticed these students, it teleported back to the UFO, disappeared, and then reappeared back at the UFO, and the UFO took off.
Okay, so now when you say seen a creature, are they talking about a gray?
The individual was a small man, about 3 feet in height. He was described as having a scrawny neck, long black hair.
That's interesting.
Right? When was
Grays
the
are
last time we
bald-
heard of long black hair? Right? Huge eyes, and then he vanished and reappeared and went back. And some of the accounts too was that he was all in black.
That sounds like a hybrid.
Right? Something going on there, right? This was investigated by two folks. The first one was Cynthia Hind. She's passed away. It was at the time, Africa's foremost UFO investigator. And she caught wind of this and went down and interviewed the students. John Edward Mack is a leading authority on the spiritual or transformational effects of alien abduction experiences. He also investigated. He happened to be in Africa at the time. Now, he was a Harvard professor. Okay, and his specialty was dealing with people that have had alien abductions, where he kind of varies from other folks that study alien abductions is that he not only acknowledges that there could be a physical piece to that, but he also understands that there's like more of a spiritual, emotional connection to alien abductions too, and it could be in certain individuals, not an actual physical experience, but something that they go through in their mind and in their life that equates to that. It's really, really cool. If you look into him, he was investigated secretly by the Harvard University and stuff. In the end, they said that he was free to study and look into what he wanted to, so he wasn't ousted or anything. But there's a whole conspiracy around that and how a bunch of people tried to get him out of the academic.
Well, it's Harvard, right? You don't want to kind of be known by
look
Harvard,
at the Looney Bin,
right?
like Looney Tune
This
guy.
guy went to a community college down the fucking road. He's not part of
Did
us.
George Bush go to Harvard?
Who cares?
Now, he, and you make a good point, Dusty, because anytime anybody brings up a subject like this, be it aliens, Bigfoot, spirits, dimensions, you're dubbed instantly, you're this loony, crazy person. But the funny part of that is the more you understand and the more you dig into that and research yourself, the crazier you seem to people who are ignorant of the subject.
That's
right?
very true. Very true.
So, what was pretty cool about this is that we've got these students were told to draw what they saw, and I don't have all the drawings, but I did spent some time on the internet pulling up the different drawings. I want us to go through them, compare, contrast. Yeah, we grade them. Yeah.
In any of these pictures, does the guy have like candy and trying to get them to go back?
Oh yeah, no. And what else is neat too is at the end of this too, we have interviews from the students shortly after the abduction or the sighting, and then 20 years later as adults they have interviews too, and we're gonna spend a couple of minutes just looking at that.
Oh, that's cool.
There is a great number of resources out here on this, and from what I found, it hasn't been debunked. Somebody had come out there and said, they saw a helicopter land. Okay. Come on, man. All right.
Not to mention, if they're on recess and the helicopter lands, it's loud. It kicks up a shit ton of dust and everything else. I think the teachers have been like, what the fuck?
Yep.
And walked out to figure out what's going on.
In one of the interviews, we're going to hear a young girl talk about how it sounded like flute music playing when it approached.
Oh, really?
Pretty cool, huh?
Like Zelda.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. Yep. So anyway, I'm going to go in. We're going to first take a look at a photo of the school, and then we're going to go and look at a little bit of the drawings. We'll talk about them, and then we'll take a peek at some of these interviews. It's really cool. I encourage everybody to dig into this because, it does not rise to the level of proof, but boy, it really is some great anecdotal eyewitness evidence that puts a little oomph behind the thoughts and theories behind aliens and contact and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we've got on the screen here, you can see this is the schoolyard. Looks like kind of a typical Zimbabwean schoolyard, I would say.
How do you know it's typical in a Zimbabwean schoolyard? How many have you been to?
None. I've seen a picture of one. So I'll just assume they all look like that, okay? But Anyway, so I wanted to kind of share what we're looking at, the type of topography, the layout, and stuff like that. Okay, so here is we're going to take a look at the first picture drawn by a student here. Okay.
Interesting.
Yep. Craft in the woods, circular portals.
That person doesn't
UFO.
have any.
Right. That's those blurry photos and not so blurry photos, as well as other drawings.
There's no hair on that alien, though.
Right. No long hair on that. Right.
That's a good point. Yep.
Yep. Okay. So this is interesting.
Do we got what grade or how old they are?
Ages 5 to 12. This I'm guessing is older than a 5-year-old.
The trees have some nice.
Dryan is the person's name. They signed it. That was nice of them. Next photo. Okay.
Yeah.
We got trees, right?
And now
There's a
it's a
UFO in
zebra.
there. I'm gonna toggle back real quick for the viewers here.
But it is very similar.
Shape-wise, very similar. The layout within the trees is very similar.
Yeah, don't really match.
Maybe he was doing the reflection.
That could be. Or it's shaded by the trees.
Yep. Now, think of this, too. If you're a small child, or even as an adult, and you witness like something like this, think of the amount of trauma and shock you're going through. So it'd be tough to recall all the fine details
very true.
later, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
So just keep that in mind. Here's another one.
The fuck is that?
Wow.
UFO in the trees.
Were they crawling on it?
There's two of them on the top there.
So the kids are crawling on it?
No, they had seen a being on top of it.
Okay.
If we go all the way back to the beginning here, appear
on top
a
of the
small man
object.
about 1 meter in height
All
appeared
right.
on top of the object. Well, we've got one man in front. Okay, so could be where the part where he's walking out. Here we've got two. See them both up on top there. This one, the long hair is much clearer.
This
right?
does have the like circular orbs, like the first one did.
But then rectangular windows.
It's a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back through all three here real quick. I'd say 1 and 2 are closer, right? Just with the shape and the legs. This one's a little different, but this one looks to be maybe somebody that's a little younger drawing this,
And
right?
he put lights on the...
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at another one here.
That's how I draw. It has to be like 5-year-old.
And that looks like a typical gray.
Right? Wearing
And
some
no
sort
hair.
of suit, right?
Yeah,
Haven't we
that's a
heard
trench
about
coat.
Grays wearing suits too, though, along the way?
I've never heard them wearing clothes.
No, I have came across something about Grays wearing some kind of a jumpsuit.
With the beam? Wasn't that the underground?
Was that what? I
Wasn't
can't
that
remember.
underground battle with that former FBI guy or whatever? We got into. What
Corey?
was his name? Remember, because they had this
That
thing
was
on their
Corey
chest.
Good, wasn't it? The guy that went down.
No, that was
He ended up dead.
Phil Schneider.
Yeah,
Schneider,
right.
yeah, I knew it was
was
one
that
of
the one
them.
that was mysteriously hung himself with
His own
catheter.
catheter.
with his catheter?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And nothing was taken out of his house and all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff.
all sorts of stuff. So anyway, yeah, you look at this. This is your standard gray, but see, 3 feet tall. Remember that. Look at the UFO ship. We've got another variation here. So we have to be careful because some of these websites are saying, "Oh, it's exact matches and this and that." So let's take a look at that. No hair. That's the big thing.
Yep.
Like, a lot of these don't have hair. Yeah.
Right.
Like that one, I could see hair. Go
Yeah,
back.
very clearly.
That
hair
one,
on
yeah,
that
they
one.
drew hair on that one. There ain't none there.
Black suit.
Yep.
The one here doesn't have any trees around it.
What's the red in the middle?
I don't know.
I think that you could claim Mandela effect on this though too, because people see a reality and then it's different for the other
Could
people.
be. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, perspective-wise,
Because if you
too,
see somebody with
everybody's
hair, if you see an
perspective is
alien with
different.
hair, that should be a key feature that you would draw.
Right. You'd think, but keep in mind though too, if this thing was really truly teleporting around and vanishing and disappearing, hard telling what kind of technology was being used to potentially mask it. Maybe that's part of their shtick, is that they have something that it looks a little different to everybody.
That'd be
right?
a good. Yep.
Yeah, great way to
Keep anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Damn.
Okay. Yep. Here's another one. Big black eye.
See, now this is interesting. The hair's back.
Yeah.
So if they're in front and they have the hair pulled back, you're not going to draw the hair.
Right. Oh, good point. Right.
Yep.
That could have hair. We just don't see it. Right.
I suppose, yeah.
Body similar
This one's
to
fat.
humans, but all black and then with a saucer. Here's a couple more. Some of them we've seen already. Some we haven't.
All right, the second one on the right down,
Yep.
that's really different from everybody else.
Well, upper left, it's fairly close to upper left.
It's got
It's all
spikes
black.
on the bottom.
Well-
bottom.
You gotta keep in mind these are children here.
You know,
When I was a child, I was drawing like Picasso. So
look at the eye differences. Second down on the left versus the lower right.
lower right.
Big eye difference there. But the eye one matches the one above it.
Yeah, it's true. They all have very similar concepts. I mean, none of them match, but then again, like we said, if the three of us could be anywhere and see something from a different angle, and it's going to look differently to
and
us.
depending on the amount of adrenaline we've got pumping through and our fight or flight instinct, right, kicking in.
I just have the fight instinct. I don't have flee and freeze doing that work. Yeah.
I'll remind you that next time we're getting chased by a bear, all right?
Sorry. If it's bigger than me, I will run.
Or a Sasquatch.
Okay, so
Scared
we've
of
got
Sasquatch.
some student interviews here, and we're going to spend just a minute or two watching these. This is precursor right to before the interview. This is one dude, he's coming to do an interview. Oh, where am I here?
Something scared you, is that right?
Yes.
What scared you?
The noise.
What noise?
The noise that we heard in the air.
You heard a noise in the
Yes.
air? What was it like? Like a roar or a buzz or a hum or what kind of a noise?
It was like someone was blowing a flute. It was scary myself.
That was scary.
It was scary because you saw something yourself?
Yes. I saw a little object hovering. It was quite big actually, and then there was little ones all around it. We saw something silver, and then we quickly ran to the logs, and we saw a silver thing, and we saw a man standing next to it.
What did it feel like when he was looking at you?
I felt scared.
It felt scared? What was scary about it?
Well, I felt scared because I've never seen such a person like that before.
Did you see the eyes? What did they look like?
They were going like that.
Where was the pointy
pretty good
part?
eye
Was the pointy part in
description.
here or was the pointy part
See, now
up
this is
there?
interesting
Up
because
there.
I was gonna
And
say that
what was
children
the feeling
lie
when
and
you
stuff,
looked at the eyes?
but when they're all corroborating like this, there's no way that kids keep their story straight ever.
Right?
Well, the thing of it is, the first one actually sounded like she was scared.
Yeah, she still had
Yeah.
that because that was, I think, 2 days afterwards.
Yeah, she still sounded like she had some, you could hear it in her voice.
What I've looked in all of these children too is, and I forget which way, but I think it's up and to the left. If you're looking up and to the left, you're looking to make up stuff that goes, right? The old interrogation tricks and stuff. I don't see any of these kids even looking around to even indicate they're trying to fabricate or make something up. It's pretty cool. So we'll finish her out here.
It was scary.
And what scary? Why? What made it scary?
The eyes looked evil.
Evil. And what was evil about them? Say what you mean by evil.
It looked evil because it was just staring at me.
With what? Staring at you as if what? As if to do what?
As if it wanted to come and take us.
As if it wanted to come and take you. That was the feeling you got? That it wanted you to go with it? Did you feel like you wanted to go with it? No. Did you feel, what was the effect on you when you felt it wanted to have you go with it?
I just walked away and I started crying.
They came running up here in such a panic.
This is one of the
And
teachers.
I mean, even if we had staged it, they could not have run all together like that. Even if we practiced it, I don't know how many times. But they came up here like a living snake. And they just came, we were in a staff meeting and we just heard them screaming, ah, and then they were here, and a child can't make that up.
Child can't make that up. Okay, so now fast forward to about
The living snake.
Yeah,
I've never heard that.
Yeah,
What is that?
No, they're running like a living snake. They were all
they were all
together.
in line running.
I thought it was
together.
another saying for like the living dead or something.
Oh, yeah, well, maybe it is a different culture. Okay. So I believe this should take us now into interviews of the folks 20 years later.
The whole quality of the way they talk about it is the way a person talks about experience that happened to them.
This should be interesting.
I want to do a SpongeBob 20 years later thing.
All of a sudden, it was just like imaging going through my head.
The last girl we just talked to.
A message, trying to communication. I describe it as telepathic communication. There was no talking.
I remember being very captivated by the eyes, and in that moment, however long it was, because I have no idea of the time frame, it was mesmerizing. It was absolutely captivating.
As soon as I saw it, I knew that this was something from another planet or something from out of this worldly
Holy shit.
space.
People need to know there is something else out there.
That's pretty interesting.
Dude, isn't that
Oh my
crazy?
God.
And what, that span of 20 years?
Yeah.
Well, you got to keep your story together for 20 damn years. You look like a dipshit.
Right?
And, I mean, come on now. If I say I saw an alien now, I'm going to have to constantly say I saw an alien until the day I die.
Until the day I die.
Otherwise, I lose credibility, right?
I was trying to
No, because they'd be grown-ups and be like, trying to, hey, we've lied, we should probably, or they all wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a lot of
commitment 20
Yeah.
years later
Just
to go
to-
back on there, because, you know, it's just as
And for
simple to
what?
say, I don't want to do it.
And for what? It's stupid.
Well, who knows how
yeah,
many...
To make yourself look
open
like
open yourself up for
crazy.
ridicule.
Yeah.
Ridicule as an adult.
If you
now.
were a kid and you were going ahead and said you saw an alien, and everyone's like, holy shit, you got all this publicity, but then it died. And then 20 years later, like, hey, we wanted to interview you again. Would you not be like, yeah, I saw the alien, even if you didn't?
No, but somebody would be growing up and be like, I'm not dealing with that.
You're married, you have a
spooky
job, and you
stuff.
have kids. People lose their jobs
Yeah.
over that.
I got better things to do.
Oh my God, y'all! Like all of a sudden now it's like, oh well, everyone's gonna be honest in 20 years.
Okay.
I still know liars that Anyway, although I have researched this myself.
You know what?
I
Right,
actually
that's- you're
saw-
right. It's all the bugs.
I want to.
I want to replay something,
I
Dusty, for you here, real quick.
I don't give a shit. No.
Okay, hold on.
I did
Right
watch
here.
this same documentary that you're watching now.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've already seen all this.
Look at this gal.
Yeah.
People need to know there is something else out there.
Dusty,
Yeah.
you need to know that there is something else out there.
I know
Look
there's
at her.
something
Is
else
she
out there.
lying to you right now?
Yeah.
Well, she is a woman.
You know, since
I am not going to dignify that with a response.
I am single and I have, yeah, they're all nuts.
Ask Dusty.
Please, the thoughts expressed by the panel members on Talk is Cheap do not reflect the views of all panel members on Talk
'cause you
is
have a
Cheap.
girlfriend.
You pussy worshipping.
No, I shouldn't say that. I've met some great women since I've been single, but women or not, can I believe
Okay,
her?
we got a guy
I
who's
don't
off
have-
of a nasty breakup and some dude that I don't think's been laid in about 5 years here, okay? So
I'm still looking. I'm just saying, it's just not that I don't, as a skeptic, it's not that I don't believe. And it's not like I don't think that she might be telling the truth. It's just for me, as I've plainly said before, I have to have the proof.
Yep.
I mean, I could go outside right now and go take a leak around the damn building and come back and say, a Sasquatch touched me inappropriately. I'll show you on this doll. And you have to either believe me or not believe me.
I wish something would happen to you and then no one would believe you, then see how you feel.
Well, as a skeptic, I would think I would have more credibility because I don't believe
When I was a kid, I had imaginary friends. I'm not here at 40 years old saying, yeah, it was a real imaginary kid. I told everybody about it.
You still have imaginary friends, I'm
Well,
sure.
yeah, right. Yeah, you're my imaginary friends, assholes.
We don't exist.
I'm not.
Mandela effect.
You're just really not my friend.
I'm not saying that what they're saying is not. I just. We all believe in something, and I just like to be. Even the shit that I believe in, I always take a step back and say, how credible is it? I mean, just like the last episode I did, it was. Yeah, I showed you on Google Maps. It really could have been there, but at the same time, it ain't there. And someone said something about giant, large, rabbits
Black
and
rabbits.
and a wizard living in a castle. It doesn't make sense. Now you give me 20 people and adults, and that they all have the same thing. I mean, I'll believe it a little bit more, but until I have that evidence, and that's what pisses me off because right here in my hand I have a 4K fucking camera, everything. And I could take shots. And then even then, though, you can still kind of debunk it in a way. So it's
Sure.
hard. It's
I
really
want to
hard.
challenge you to something. I want you to take a clear shot of me before I get up and get out of this doorway.
Right
go,
now.
go.
No,
Take
yeah,
a picture
go,
of me.
no, go
Take a
ahead.
picture of me. I'm a UFO.
You can't do it.
Okay.
Listen, I really want to start drinking again.
It would be blurry. And
It would be blurry.
There goes
Yep.
Sasquatch.
And just like that,
That's funny.
Sasquatch or that UFO is gone,
And
man.
I
You didn't
don't,
stand
I
a
don't
chance.
disbelieve in Sasquatches, like I've said, because when I was really young and I saw that first ever Sasquatch video that we've all seen,
Yep,
the woman.
PGF.
The one that we said that was real.
That
Yeah.
I have a strong
Lock, stock,
feeling
and
that
box.
I
and
think
like,
so.
They have the feet that they did the plaster and everything else on, and I really did believe it when I was younger, and I think that's why I'm the skeptic, is because I also saw people go out and debunk it. They actually made large feet and walked around, and they put plaster in it, and it looked the same. So for me, it's always been that tangible. Now, I'm not saying these people are lying.
I can digress to Sasquatch debate and tell
I
you
know.
exactly how many
I know.
times you were
I don't know
wrong in your
why.
current
I
statement,
don't know why I brought
but
up
I'm not
Sasquatch.
going to, because we're talking about the Zimbabwe UFO
And
experience.
this I actually found, because the same reasons you found it interesting, when I watched this documentary, I was thrilled. Because
Yeah,
like you
this
said,
is a good one.
20-some kids, they did 62 kids. They all had very similar stories. Like we said, the pictures are all very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And 20 years later, they stuck with and I can see why someone would. If you're going to make a damn good lie, you probably want to keep with it. Same with Sasquatch stuff before.
The fact is that there's many of them.
So-
like if there was only like two of them, of course you could say they could get away with it. But the fact that there's
62,
so many,
yeah, it gives it a lot of credibility. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say they're wrong, and I don't believe. I mean, because we all know that I believe in extraterrestrial life and advanced civilizations and all this other shit. But it's just I always want to take that step back and say, well,
I'd love to know, and I see where you're coming from,
Yeah.
but I would love to know, out of the 62 students, I would like to see all of their drawings. I would like to see who wanted to come back. If any of them have come out and said, no, we made that up, we all thought it'd be a funny joke.
Yeah.
But we don't have that.
Yeah.
Right? We don't have the option to do that lengthy research. Maybe if we contacted these folks, we could get them on there to look. But what we also don't have is the debunking part of it, where 32 of them said this and it was all made up.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that's where it hasn't been explained away good enough for me.
But it hasn't been explained well enough either to say, hey, these 62 kids still
you
20
can't
years
tout
later.
this. You can't tout this as any sort of solid proof to get anybody to believe
But
it.
it is very interesting, and it is credible enough to make somebody, even myself as a skeptic, a little bit more than everybody else, to say, this is pretty good. I mean, this is on the top 10 of things that I could see to believe. So
Yeah, that one gal, this gal here, what was her name? Emily something or other.
she looks high as shit right there.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she? She's been
Still drawn.
as of last.
Hasn't gotten better.
As of last year, she's still going around talking about her experiences and stuff. She was communicated with, which she didn't really come out when she was a kid and say this, but now she was communicated with telepathically. She was given messages, basically same sort of thing. You're destroying the earth. You need to save the earth. That sort
That
of
makes
thing.
sense.
Yep.
And you wouldn't want to tell
and when
anybody
you-
that as a kid, because you probably wouldn't understand it anyway.
Yep.
And that goes with the messages that we constantly talk about. Every time someone gets a message, it's normally
Yeah,
like,
stop killing each other.
Yep.
Be careful of your planet. You need to preserve this stuff. And if you follow this gal a little bit, you'll see that she does talks and stuff, and she talks about that. And
I wonder if she's single. She's kind of cute.
Yeah, and either she saw a
It's not worth it.
UFO or she's batshit crazy, man. So
Maybe I should do an investigation, a one-on-one type of
I think you should.
reporting.
Yeah, anyway, Timmy Num Nums, please blast Dusty once for me in the comment section, all right? You're a sharp guy. Get him good for me,
Hashtag
bud. All
bald
right?
guy sucks.
Yeah, hashtag bald
right.
guy sucks.
He's
Anyway,
back, mother-
awesome. Good. I enjoyed the topic. I thought it was good. I hope you guys did too.
I loved it. Absolutely. Yes.
Awesome.
Good conversation.
Really interesting.
Yep.
Very good. All right, folks, that's our show for this evening. We love you. Keep tuning in. Timmy Num Nums, you're my man, and we're out. Talk is cheap.